KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. The all-new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, 2 fire stations and a police precinct to shut down, the latest with the government's financial crisis. Plus, what's in the governor's latest compromise bill? Nestor Lecanto gives us a deeper look. And day 2 of trial gets going for a couple accused of trying to smuggle 8 pounds of meth from California to Guam.
Hafaday and good evening.
A new week and the government's financial crisis remains. The holiday weekend cut short for some in the government. Lawmakers getting back to work after confusion over the governor's call to special session.
This after an AG's opinion that states the call was valid. The same weekend, drastic deep cuts were implemented to the police and fire. Carmen Terlahi has our top story.
The chiefs of Guam Fire and Guam Police were on the front line of attack by senators during Sunday's special session. This because of the decision to close the Hagåtña precinct and the fire stations in Pidi and Estumbo.
Where the police officers and the fire department, in terms of saving lives, you provide that critical service. So my concern is, at least from this end, is why is it that public safety is being affected up front?
Thank you for your concern.
Senator Michael Sinicolas accused the Calvo administration of playing a dangerous game of politics, pointing out that GPD and GFD are current on their overtime, and the governor hasn't even used his 15% transfer authority to cover down. Instead, he said it was a ruse to get what he wants, a 2% increase in the BPT.
This is nothing less, Madam Chairman, than a blatant hostage taking of our people with the intent of forcing a tax increase down their throats. This body is getting called into special session after special session after special session at midnight, and our people are being submerged in a climate of fear for their safety.
Fire Chief Joey Sinicolas responded that GovGuam is looking down the barrel of a $67 million revenue shortfall for this current fiscal year. He says GFD is stepping up, being proactive in helping deal with the financial crisis.
I just have a question for you. What is your solution in all this?
We're working on the solution.
You're coming on us, and you're asking us, or you're telling me how to run my operation.
Madam Chair, that's out of order. Out of order, Madam Chair.
I'm answering the question.
As for Chief of Police J.I. Cruz, he says additional cuts are under consideration and reassured senators public safety is their top priority.
And I'm going to lead the Guam Police Department as I see fit, and that's exactly what we're doing. The whole issue of Hagåtña precinct, again, as Senator Sinicolas talked about threat to the community, I would beg to differ that we have put the community at risk. I would beg to differ that we've compromised the safety and security of the people of Guam.
For now, the fire stations remain closed. And as for the Hagåtña precinct, today KUAM saw 2 conservation officers, 1 airport police, and 1 GPD special ops officer at the facility. Meantime, police officers who were once stationed here are working at the Department of Corrections to help alleviate their overtime cost. Only time will tell if that move will help or hurt the operations at the prison, as some of their corrections officers have been under the microscope recently for failing to follow department policies last December when a detainee was found dead. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
In response, Lieutenant Governor Tenorio, who oversees public safety, says, quote, "We will reopen these fire and police stations when the legislature provides our government with the revenue."
As if that drama wasn't enough, there's more to the political theater that played out through the weekend.
It's still centered on the governor's Bill 16-S to raise the business privilege tax by 50% to make up for the $67 million revenue shortfall created by the Trump tax reforms. But despite the all-out push by the administration, lawmakers have yet to decide. Nestor Lecanto has a breakdown of the administration's latest compromise bill.
Essentially, what the governor has been asking for is to raise the BPT from 4% to 6%, to raise an added $120 million. This expanded revenue stream, as the bill calls it, will go to cover not just general fund operational costs, it's also earmarked for a GMH stabilization fund to pay for a modernization plan the administration has been pushing for more than a year and to cover chronic GMH budget shortfalls. Finally, the new tax revenue will also be used for the Education Department's capital needs. Early on, Speaker B.J. Cruz offered a counter-proposal to revise the BPT from 4 points to 5, or a smaller 25% increase, but that was voted down. Senator Dennis Rodriguez also pushed his proposal to eliminate tax exemptions and abatements for the insurance industry and impose a 4% fee on health insurance premiums. He also wants to impose a 4% tax on the net income of banks and other financial institution lenders.
We've never heard anything about the deductions that they've been given on deducting their personnel, marketing, all other expenses that any other business or industry are not allowed to deduct in the formulation of their BPT obligation. And so with that, that's what this amendment does.
The Rodriguez amendments also failed, but lawmakers are weighing still other revenue alternatives, which will undergo public hearing this week, replacing the BPT with a sales tax, raising traditionally low real property taxes, and offering a tax amnesty period to entice those who owe money to step forward and pay without penalty. Lawmakers got a break Monday from the unprecedented weekend of special sessions. They'll be back at it on Tuesday at 2 p.m. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Not taking the day off, the Oversight Chair of Public Safety, Senator Talina Nelson, meeting with a couple assistant fire chiefs today to go over her proposal in response to the closure announcement. She introduced Bill 251 that would update and implement fees assessed for GFD services. This, she says, would allow the fire department to immediately see revenue adding up to $4.7 million. However, the administration fired back, saying while raising fees to help GPD is appreciated, it falls short of the $67 million revenue reduction for the entire government. Nelson plans to continue discussions with GFD.
More of the back and forth during special session. Department of Administration Deputy Director Vince Arreola responded to Senator Regine Bisco-Lee after he says he was singled out by the Democratic Party. The party over the weekend stated, quote, Arreola admitted that DOA had cash in the bank and that the governor had near absolute authority to manage that cash, end quote. But Arreola told KUAM that was, quote, totally misguided. And he says they took his comments out of context, even questioning Democrat governor hopefuls.
He's the governor of Guam. If the Democratic Party of Guam can't understand that, then that's pretty surprising, because they've got 4 candidates running for governor. If they have no idea how this government of Guam runs, maybe they shouldn't be running.
Arreola adding, of course there's money in the bank, but the question is if it will last them through the fiscal year.
A prominent local company that's planning to launch a captive insurance business is still waiting on the governor's approval of its qualifying certificate, but CoreTech International's bid for tax relief comes at a time when the administration is desperately seeking more tax revenue and has placed a moratorium on existing QCs. Governor Calvo issued the executive order on February 27th saying, quote, the moratorium will remain until we know where we stand financially and whether renewing the QCs will help or harm our island's economy. Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr., who has pushed to eliminate insurance from the list of eligible QCs, says he's not familiar with the CoreTech application, but he expects that a fair assessment was done by GITA and that a level playing field is extended just as other captive insurance companies were afforded. The program was launched 50 years ago and offers long-term corporate tax rebates to companies from certain industries to spur economic investment.
Reserved for the first Monday of March, Guam History and Chamorro Heritage Day commemorates our island's history and culture. It was in 2014 that the day was renamed by the legislature from its former Discovery Day and declared a government holiday.
But with the ongoing budget cuts occurring in Gov Guam and at a cost upward of $800 grand, can the government really afford to take off? Keani Mendiola has the story.
It was in 1521 Spanish explorer Ferdinand Magellan first arrived on Guam's shores in the Umatic Bay. It would be an encounter that would forever change the island's history and culture, as soon after Guam and its natives became colonized by Spain. Centuries later, Guam History and Chamorro Heritage Day serves as a reminder of that fateful event and a celebration of Chamorro culture. The village of Umatic hosts festivities every year to commemorate Magellan's landing, including a reenactment and to raise cultural awareness. Umatic Mayor Johnny Kanata says it's about keeping tradition.
It's about Magellan discovering our village of Umatic, and that's why we celebrate this event every year. It's because we follow my former colleagues, the mayors of Umatic, a long time ago, so that's how we kept celebrating every year.
The same story which has been told since 1933, and all village residents, regardless of age, want to partake in showcasing all that the Southern Village has to offer.
We have a lot of historical sites. We have our own Humatak Foundation, which our kids from Umatic is out there explaining to them each site about the village, the history about the village.
Senator Tommy Morrison originally introduced the legislation to declare the first Monday of March as this holiday, and he commends the youth's participation in the event.
You now see the children telling the story about what's significant in our community. And I just hope this kind of passes on to other communities where our children can actually share the stories.
Guam History and Chamorro Heritage Day commemorates Ferdinand Magellan's landing here in Umatic Bay. But with the ongoing crisis in the government, can Guam really afford to take this day off? Here's what officials had to say. According to 2014's legislation, the cost would amount to $810,147 to be paid by DOA.
We certainly know our country, the United States, certainly goes through many crises, but we don't see them eliminate Independence Day. But we know this day is very important because we celebrate many federal holidays. Don't get me wrong, they're very important, but this is a day that is defined by our people.
And Joe Kanata of the Humatak Foundation believes this day is an expense the government should spend on.
The governments can afford to do anything. And a day such as this, it should afford to have this day off so that people can know their history. When you know your history, you know yourself. When you know yourself, you have self-confidence. When you have self-confidence, you do a really, really good job. And perhaps maybe our leaders should have been down here.
It's apparent that budget cuts and taxes won't triumph over the festivities of Mes Chamorro. But what lies in store for our island's government may become another fateful event to change history. But for now,
it's all about the cultural, Chamorro culture, and we can't forget about it.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Kiani Mendiola.
The Guam History and Chamorro Heritage Day Festival is ongoing until midnight tonight.
Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
I solemnly swear
to love you,
hold you,
and keep you as my little secret.
And hold you.
I think about you all the time.
Hold you.
Because you have that special something.
Rediscover your love for the Big Mac and its special sauce. And for a limited time, try the Mac Jr. and Grand Big Mac.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Areola at 472-6114.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $8.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $8.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes! Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $8.99 each. No one out pizzas the Hut.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Could an apparent botched investigation jeopardize the government's case against a couple accused of trying to smuggle a hefty amount of drugs to Guam? That's the argument the defense pressed during opening statements.
Defense saying the drugs are linked to the Mexican drug cartel, but that claim comes as the prosecution's first witness takes the stand and as the jury gets a first-hand look at the 8 pounds of meth found inside the couple's rental car back in 2015. Corruption and entrapment, the defense painting that picture for the jury, arguing that investigators involved in the drug case failed to follow the law prior to making the 2015 bust. Day 2 of trial for Raymond Martinez and Juanita Moser continued in district court on Monday. Moser's attorney David Lujan telling the jury that law enforcement officials involved lied in an effort to catch the pair. Lujan, like Martinez's attorney Peter Perez, brought up the GPS tracker and the lack of a warrant by investigators to put the device on their rental car. The device, Lujan says, was doused with meth as well so that the canine dog would alert authorities to the drugs during the planned traffic stop in Southern California. That claim, Lujan says his expert witness will testify to during trial. The pair are facing charges of conspiracy to distribute and possession with the intent to distribute the drug ice. Lujan also arguing that investigators failed to do their jobs and find the source of the drugs when monitoring the couple. He told the jury that arresting the pair ended any chance of discovering the Mexican cartel source. The prosecution in court on Monday, meanwhile, bringing in the nearly 8 pounds of meth and other evidence as their first witness took the stand. Redondo Beach police officer Daniel Ritchie, the canine officer who first spotted the drugs inside the car, testified that he had been called the day prior to the traffic stop. The pullover happening in the adjacent city of Torrance on June 4th of 2015. Ritchie testifying that there was a distinct blue checkmark on the bags containing the drugs that were hidden inside barrels filled with rock salt. He stated it was a thick, airtight bag that was unique to this particular traffic stop. Defense, however, argued against Officer Ritchie's recollection of the findings. Attorney Perez contending there was a break in the chain of custody of the drugs from the time the officer found it to when it was eventually seized and sent to Guam as evidence. Trial continues Tuesday morning with more of the government's witnesses set to testify.
A retired Saipan bishop and former Archdiocese of Agana priest has passed away. Bishop Emeritus Thomas A. Camacho died on Monday morning at 84 years old. In a statement from NMI Governor Ralph Torres, he says Camacho will be missed. Quote, even to his last breath, he continued to provide advice and prayer for our family and our people. We are deeply grateful for his love and wisdom, end quote. Camacho, we should note, is named in 2 clergy sexual abuse lawsuits filed in the District Court of Guam. Plaintiff Melvin Duenas alleges the priest molested him at the St. Joseph Parish in Inarajan. The second complaint was filed by an individual only identified as BC, who alleges he was abused by the priest at the Nuestra Senora de las Aguas Parish in Mongmong. Plaintiff's attorney David Lujan is likely to remove Camacho's name from the complaints. KUAM files show the attorney has amended complaints for deceased clergy and has gone on the record stating, quote, we're not going after them or their estates, end quote.
An official order has been filed for the Justice Department to investigate the local U.S. Attorney's Office. As we reported, Chief Judge Francis Sidinko Gatewood is calling for the investigation of concerns with their diversion program. Diversion meaning defendants could possibly have their criminal record wiped clean at the end of their case. She mentioned last month that this would be coming during sentencing for Dao Quinn Liu, who is convicted for unlawful possession of 15 or more counterfeit access devices. Two other defendants, Yun Kai Liu and Ziwen Wang, she argues should have been considered considered for the diversion program. Their sentencing has been continued until the Justice Department issues its findings.
Dressed in their best island wear, students from around the island kicked off Mes Chamorro celebrations Saturday at the Hagåtña Shopping Center. The fashion show featured traditional attire, song, and dance. Festivities mirrored across the island in celebration of Chamorro Heritage Day and Mes Chamorro. Stay tuned to KUAM for the latest festivities.
Well, stick around. Sports is next, but first, your island weather.
Binging movies in bed shouldn't make you want to hide under the covers when the bill arrives. That's why all of GTA's home internet plans are unlimited. We believe that you deserve better than home internet with hidden data fees, because you should be able to cuddle without worrying about bill trouble. So the choice is yours. Bill shock with the other guys, or a life unlimited with GTA. Say goodbye to hidden data fees and make the switch today to GTA. Your island, your network.
Why is tourism Guam's #1 industry? Tourism benefits our economy. Visitors come to our shores to experience our island. More tourist spending means more dollars flowing into our economy. Tourism creates jobs. From bell service to front desk to tour agents, more jobs mean more opportunities. Tourism builds businesses. From hotels to shops to restaurants. More businesses mean more dreams come true. Tourism preserves our culture. In the visitor industry, culture takes center stage. Celebrating our culture means keeping our traditions alive. Tourism keeps our land and waters clean. It all adds up. Tourism improves our quality of life. It helps make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Tourism works for Guam.
Cars Plus and Mighty has the trucks. And during Ram Truck Month, save up to $97.50 on new Ram trucks. Cars Plus has a great selection of 2018 Ram trucks. Plus, shop our remaining 2017 Ram 1500s. Voted Guam's best truck 2 years in a row. The Ram truck comes with a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty. And with 1.99 APR financing for qualified buyers, there's no better time to buy than now. It's Ram Truck Month, and only Cars Plus and Mighty has the trucks. Cars Plus, driven by you.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. Baby Joe Timaglow with a big win at Bellator 195. We'll get to those highlights in just a bit. But first off, playoff basketball from the FD Phoenix Center. Check it out. The Father Duenas Friars taken to their home court against the Ukadu Bulldogs in IIAAG Boys quarterfinals playoff action. DeAndre Cruz with the rebound off the missed three-point attempt by the Bulldogs. Tomas Calvo pushes the ball down court, sees an opening in the defense, and attacks the basket. Calvo with the layup through the lane for 2 points. Ukadu trying to get the ball inside to Christian Manalo. Manalo posting up on Kyle Guyton. Turnaround move baseline takes it up for the bucket off glass. Bulldogs holding their own against the Friars early. Calvo driving left, waiting for teammate Tony Kaneni to come around from the opposite corner. Kaneni with the feed takes the shot from long range, gets the home court bounce as the ball rolls in. Manalo calling for the ball at the top of the key, passes it off to Jonas Oyardo. Oyardo airballs on the shot from the outside. Nico Benitez put back is short. Prince Enriquez with the rebound takes it right back up for the score. Friars take it to the Bulldogs in the second half and walk away with the win 71-52 and advance to face the St. John's Knights in the semis after the Knights beat out the Southern High Dolphins 87-36. Let's roll on over to the Hagåtña Heights Gym. MEC Diesels and Team Admin meeting up in the GWPA Basketball League. MEC's Matsumiya hits for deuce. Admin's Marvin Poliarco working his way to the open spot. Ariel Mata with the assist. Poliarco drives baseline and gets the finish. Loose ball picked up by MEC. Jared Alerto with possession. Dishes it off to Joe Burgos. Basket's no good. Juan Regis with the cleanup. MEC with the lead. All they have to do is run out the clock. Admin trailed by 7 points with a minute left in regulation. A couple of costly turnovers resulted in quick baskets by Admin. They cut into the lead and fought their way back into the game, down 43-41 with 7.1 seconds left on the clock. Admin inbounding the ball midcourt. Ariel Mata would get the ball at the top of the key and drain the three-point shot for the game-winning basket for Team Admin as they pulled off the come-from-behind win 44-43. Congrats to Baby Joe Timinglow for winning his fight in Bellator 195 over veteran fighter Joe Warren in the co-main event. Joe picked up the split decision win 30-27, 28-29, 30-27 to improve to 24 wins, 8 losses with 1 draw. 2 of his last losses have come from current champion Darian Caldwell via decision and Leandro Higo also by decision. Higo just lost to Caldwell on the same card in the main event fight of Bellator 195. The UOG men's soccer team lost their second match of the season in the Guam Football Association Budweiser Premier League 4-1 to Rovers FC. Rovers FC led 1-0 at the half and added 3 more goals in the second to go up 4-0. With time winding down in the match, the Rovers were called for a penalty after a Triton player was taken down in the box. UOG converted the penalty kick to prevent the shutout. The Rovers moved to 9-0 in the Premier League as UOG falls to 8-2-1. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
They don't want these coming out. Mexican spices, nacho cheese sauce.
Critics and fans agree nacho fries are a masterpiece. It'll change the way you look at fries, craves The Hollywood Reporter. Nacho fries, now serving at a Taco Bell near you.
Guam is more than a tiny island in the Pacific. This magical place is where I call home. This island inspires me to learn and explore what's around me. It teaches me that there are no shortcuts in life and that the long way home may just be the scenic route. And that even the dirt roads can lead you to beautiful destinations.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday, Adrian Hernandez. We love you from the family. Happy birthday to KUAM's own John Bustamante. And happy belated birthday to Estella Uggan from Francis and Mary Uggan. Also celebrating, turning 12 today, Ethan Daniel. Happy 12th birthday, Ethan Daniel. Love always Mom, Dad, Mike, Chrissy, Matt, Shay, MJ, and Uncle Matt. Last but not least, celebrating happy birthday Analia and Noah. Happy birthday, love Grandma, Gayleen, and the family. And also happy birthday to Chanel Hernandez from her family. We love you. If you want to be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, register online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. It's that simple.
Yep, and that's our time here on the News Desk. Stay tuned. Cruising with KUAM is next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E.
Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J. Customers first.
Hi everybody, I'm Sabrina Salas-Matanani. Welcome to another episode of Cruising with KUAM. I'm here at Triple J picking up a 2018 Kia Cadenza. We're on our way to pick up Larry the Bone Collector Williams, who was recently on Guam for an anti-bullying campaign as well as an anti-drug campaign and for a youth basketball clinic. Let's go.